So yes, this is another video interview with the former virtual assistant because he already has a digital marketing agency. So he will share with you some of his experience during the time that he was a virtual assistant. And this time, he will be sharing with us a unique tip that will help us fast track our expertise as a virtual assistant. So make sure to watch until the end because he has a great story and a very good tips to share with us. Let us all welcome Harry Singh.
Hello.
Hi. So can you share with us just a short story about you and what were you doing before you started this type of business?
All right. Well, I was a former values education teacher. That was my profession for 3 years. But I also had the opportunity of being an assistant guidance counselor while being a values ed teacher. So I help basically students with their behavior, relationship with classmates, teachers, and their own parents. So that's part of the things that I discussed with them. Um, After that, I actually left the profession to be a sales and marketing person. So I went on to market different paid activities in the school setting. So part of that would be field trips, film showings, um, a mobile planetarium events, and concerts. So those are the things that I did.
Okay. So you were in the academic section.
Yes.
So were you able to work in a company or a corporate setting?
Well, I always had the opportunity to do so. I had job offers for that, but I never grabbed anything that would bind me to a 9 to 5 schedule.
Okay.
What always appealed to me is to do my own thing. So I applied for jobs, but only as a freelance marketer or a salesperson.
All right. How did you learn this, virtual assistant thing, this online freelancing?
Hmm. So there was a person who actually mentioned it to me way back in 2009. He's a friend of my uncle, and he has an agency way back then. So he was the first one who introduced me to article writing, and he eventually left Metro Manila to build a web development agency in the province. So I continued to be an article writer. And then eventually I discovered Odesk, which is Upwork now. But before it was Odesk and Elance, they merged to become Upwork. I also had gig opportunities from freelancer.com and also Fiverr. So those were the websites that I had job opportunities to both do article writing and then virtual assistant tasks.
Okay. So what were your struggles when you were just starting?
Hmm. My struggles were basically I only had one skill. Because when you're a VA, you're asked to do a lot of different types of jobs or tasks. And I can only offer one skill, which is article writing, which I'm not really good at, honestly. I don't think I'm good at writing. So I needed experience to be able to apply for those jobs. But what I basically did was I just developed my research skills. So I found ways on how I can learn things faster, how I can read faster, how I can process information faster. And I just watch tutorial videos on YouTube for different tasks that are related to the VA jobs that I apply to. So if I think it's gonna take me less time to do a certain type of job, even if I don't have the skill, so I'll search about it if I can learn the skill. And since I'm focusing on how I can learn a skill faster or process information faster, then I can kind of estimate if I can learn the skill within the time frame that the client needs the results. If I can do it, then I apply for the job. If I can't do it by my estimate, I just move on to the next job that I can apply to.
Okay, that's a rather good tip as well.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I just focus on how I can learn faster, and and that was that was what paved the way for me to learn different types of skills. So yeah.
Tell us more about your very first project, and after article writing, what did you do? What skills
Mhm.
did you offer?
All right. So my very first project as an official VA is for a food blogger. So her name is Jessica Pinney, and she's from the USA. Basically, what I did there is search lots of pictures of food and recipes for the pictures of food that I'm searching for. So I just picked out the top recipes from other websites, and then we recreate it on her own blog. So I'm the one who researches for content and repurposes the content writing, and also puts the content and schedules it to be posted on her blog, on her WordPress website. Yeah.
All right. So since you're not a VA now, a general VA now, because you have your own team, and I believe you have your own VA, right? So
Mhm.
how did you choose what you are doing now? How did you decide and go about it?
Hmm. Well, I haven't mentioned this a while ago, but basically, I started freelancing 2009, so it's more than a bit more than a decade now. The first 4 5 years of my freelancing, that's where I focused on being a virtual assistant, and then halfway through it, I became I had a few positions in different marketing agencies, but the main positions I had were being a digital marketing director for an ad agency based in Los Angeles, USA. And I was also able to become an events manager for a pet related company in New Jersey, USA. So both experiences actually opened me up to talking with clients of those businesses, which gave me information about more about how business works and the processes and how business can be made efficient. That's where I transitioned to be a consultant for businesses. So
All
that's what
right.
I'm doing right now. And my experience as a digital marketing director also helped me to establish my own marketing agency here in the Philippines as well.
All right. So do you think, let's go back to your experience as a VA. Do you have a fixed schedule way back then, or your schedule is a lot more flexible?
Well, I've had a taste of both. The craziest schedule that I had was two full-time jobs.
Wow.
One as a lead generation expert, and the other one was a telemarketer for the real estate industry. So I was doing 16 hours a day. That's
Wow.
80 hours a week. But I can only survive that for a little less than 2 months. Then I had to negotiate with the other client, the lead generation client. So I had to do less hours with them because I really can't do both at the same time for a longer period. That's the craziest schedule I had before. But there are also projects that are flexible, especially if they do not require full-time VAs. It's a limited time project. I also take on some tasks that are related to that, which were graphic design, web development as well. Um, and then there are those just many things that they need, like fixing their email and stuff. So those are more the more flexible ones.
Okay. Just to take note of what Harry said, you can actually negotiate your schedule and talk to your client when it comes to your schedule. You don't need to wait for the client to adjust your schedule for you. You have to be open about it. There. So next question.
Especially if you're about to die because of your schedule.
Yes, don't wait for that to happen. So, do you think it's important to have an ideal client, and why?
Hmm. I think it's really important. Um, it can be hard to have an ideal client without experiencing a few clients first. Um, so there's a process on how we build the type of client that we really can work with in a way that's efficient for both parties. But it's really important, especially if you are um, planning to do or to serve clients for the long term. Um, since you're gonna work together for a longer period of time, you need to have compatibility. So if you're not working with a client that's ideal for you, the relationship can't go on for a longer period. So the project cannot, move forward to a long term arrangement because eventually either the client will be pissed off at you or you will be pissed off at the client. So having an ideal client is really useful for long-term projects. For short-term ones, not so much. But if you value your energy levels, your emotions, your mental state, um, it's better to have ideal clients for one main reason. It reduces stress. That's it for me.
True, super duper agree. What is your biggest blessing since you started this online freelancing thing?
Hmm. I think the biggest blessing I had, I can quantify it into two, basically. There's this one client that I had the best relationship with ever. So I started as a VA for him. I did QuickBooks for his accounts before they pass it to the accountant that will approve it for IRS. So that's the first project I did with him. And then he absorbed me at his company as an events manager, and eventually as a business manager in a sense, because I was the one doing my own payroll. I was the one doing the payroll of every person in the company, and even the one transferring the funds that are for the profit of the business owner himself. So that was really a big thing for me. I never imagined to be trusted in that way by a person who is at the other side of the world in New Jersey, USA. So yeah, that's one of the biggest blessings that I have, that I consider part of my freelancing VA freelancing journey, because it has elevated my my belief in who I am and what I am capable to do in the sight of the people that I serve. Secondly, the blessing. This is more of a general thing, but being a VA has opened up a lot of opportunities for me to learn and develop as a person. So where I am right now is mainly because of the experiences I had as a virtual assistant.
All right. So I think you just answered my last question, which is which is what do you think is the future when a person starts working from home? Because as you said, there is a lot of possibilities to do
Yeah,
based
that's
on
true.
that experience.
That,
So we're going to ask about, since you already have your digital marketing agency, right? What made you decide to expand either when you build a team or hiring, getting a virtual assistant yourself?
all right. Well, um, building an agency is actually a big task. Some people may think it's simple. Sometimes it is, depending on how big you want it to go. But building an agency needs to have a proper preparation and auditing, especially of myself, what I am capable to do, my own potential, and even my limitations, my weaknesses. So I needed to establish a team that I know can support me and can carry the burdens that I can, because those are the things that I'm not good at. So that I can focus on the things that I do well, I needed people around me who can go with me and have the same vision for the thing that I'm doing.
So what do you think is the most important character that a virtual assistant should have?
Wow, that's tough. The most important characteristic.
Yeah.
I think a virtual assistant needs to know how to how to see things from the perspective of the business owner that they are serving. So it's more about empathy, about seeing things from other people's viewpoint, or as if you're walking in their shoes. This enables a virtual assistant to be proactive in the things that need to be done. If you can actually assess the situation, you can do a lot of things in advance that will simplify the business of your client and will in turn make a good testimony out of the working relationship.
All right. I think you're going to share that a little later.
Yeah.
Anyway, since I think we're done with the formal questions, so you can continue sharing those tips, which is what you call fast track for being known as an expert VA.
Wow. Yeah.
So you
So,
can go ahead and share that tip.
all right. So I mentioned empathy a while ago. And basically, it touches on the ability to see things from the perspective of another person. It's as if you're feeling what they're feeling and you're thinking what they're thinking. So it's really important because you can only understand how to position yourself better and to serve your clients better if you know what their situation really is and how it affects them, business person on the professional side, but also on the personal level because we're all human beings. So the closest experience I have when it comes to that is with the New Jersey-based owner that I had the opportunity to serve. So before it came to a point that I was the one doing the payroll for myself, for his own profits and for the other people in the company, there was actually a few setbacks when it comes to their business. He actually had to close one business and then he lost a lot of business opportunities for 1 year, which eventually led me to have a lower pay with him. And it was also a dry season for my life back then. It was around 2014. And I was having a hard time getting new clients. I was already full time with him, but he had to cut down my hours. So I was only surviving with $14.5 per week. And that was a crazy time for me. It went on for 2 months and 2 weeks. I could have dropped the client. I could have actually just said, all right, you're not paying me enough. You cut down my hours. I'm not sure if I will have more hours with you or where your business will go. But I know that if I leave you, well, your business functions will not, no one will be able to immediately replace me so that your business functions will continue like a well-oiled machine. So I had to stick with him. And it was because I understood the situation that his wife had brain cancer and he lost a dog and business really is not going well. So we had lots of heart-to-heart talks. And eventually, after two months and 2 weeks, he actually closed a few deals for his own profession. He's like in a pharmaceutical industry. And that's what he used to rebuild his business. And that included giving me a different position in the company, new responsibilities, and he actually overpaid me way more than sacrifice that I considered I did for him. So he actually saw me as a valuable employee in his company because I actually was there to back him up in the times that he was struggling. Being a virtual assistant is, I think, actually really more about service than just us getting another income stream. Because I learned a lot as a virtual assistant when I served him during the times of struggle. It became a point of strength to me when I established my own business and had struggles of my own. And there were people supporting me as well. And I think that's good karma for the support that I gave my previous client in his times of difficulty in business. So my second tip to fast track being known as an expert VA is to actually document all your processes as early as possible. Regardless of whatever level of experience that we actually have room to grow in terms of doing our tasks with better results, better quality, or a faster way of doing it. So we need to always find those ways to improve our execution of tasks, of skills. And one way to do that is to have a consistent way of documenting how we are doing things. Because if we review that documentation, we can actually see the rooms for improvement and how we can tweak our processes so that we can serve our clients faster and with better quality results. So you can fast track your growth easier from the viewpoint of your clients if you can achieve that for every kind of service or skill that you're offering.
So just to add on that tip, the reason that you need to document it, because should you endorse it or, for example, you outsource the task, it's easier to share or to explain what the task is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That actually is true, Connie. It provides the guidelines for better working relationships, both with your client and for people that you will get to help you serve that client.
Yes. All right. So, yes, we're almost at the end. So we're going to be on the third section of this interview, which is a fast Q&A round. And this is
Wow.
just for fun. Nothing serious. Anyway, you just have to choose which one. It can be both or it can be neither. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so first question is dog or cat?
Both.
I know, you're an animal lover. Anyway, diet or exercise?
Yeah. Sorry, diet or exercise? Both.
All right. Coffee or tea?
Neither.
YouTube or Facebook?
Neither.
Old school notebook or online journal?
Both.
Music or podcast?
Neither.
iOS or Android?
Both.
Windows or Mac?
Both.
All right. Ebook or hard copy?
Both.
Early bird or night owl?
Both.
How many hours do you sleep if you're both?
Well, it actually depends on my workload in the schedule. So yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of it. So before we end, what is your best advice for those who are just starting in the virtual assistant industry?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. From my own experience, what really helped me is to break down how I learn things. Because if I can learn things in a faster way, it saves me time to develop the skills that I need so that those skills can be offered as a paid service to my clients. So if there's any way that you can focus on breaking down your learning systems, make it more efficient, and then invest time in learning the skills that you need, both the technical ones and also the soft skills that you need, people skills, deploying empathy, communication, that's all part of it. But find ways to fast track your learning so that you can be you can be better positioned to serve your clients in a way that will be satisfying for both you and
Just a follow-up question. Can you give an example how to break down?
Yeah. So you can probably take a test. You will learn your learning style. It's either you're a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic person. all of us are the combination of all three, but you have a foremost way of learning, and it's one of those three. So if you're learning more through visual, then consume content that are more visual. If it's more auditory, then you can do podcasts or watch videos. If it's more kinesthetic, then you need to be doing so that you will learn more.
Mhm.
So take action. That's it.
All right, that is a very good tip. So, if they have, for example, if they have more questions, a follow-up question after watching this video, where or how they can reach you?
Oh, you can actually reach me at currently at my Facebook page. So it's at Harry R Singh. That's it. So I'm sure Connie will
Yeah.
just give you that information. Um, yeah, that's where people can most reach me. Any questions about business, entrepreneurship, being a VA? Since that's what we talk about right now, I have a good share of experience in that.
All right. So that's it. So for the viewers out there, if you were getting value out of this video, consider liking and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. So thank you, Harry.
Thank you as well, Connie.
Yay.
I want to hear from you. What is your biggest takeaway during this video interview? Share them in the comment section below. I love to read them. I'll see you again soon.
What was number 2? Nakalimutan ko.
Documentation.
All right. Document. Sige. So difficulty in business.